Denmark in shock. Princess Leonor's arrival changes everything. Spain expected her home. Denmark did not expect her at all. And yet, here she is. A future queen, crossing borders. A daughter, defying tradition. A princess, who just changed everything. Denmark is not a stranger to royalty. For centuries, its palaces have seen kings crowned, queens honored, and royal heirs groomed for the throne. But nothing could have prepared the Danish royal court, or the people, for what unfolded the moment Her Royal Highness Princess Leonor of Spain arrived quietly, yet powerfully, on Danish soil. It wasn't an official state visit. It wasn't scheduled by protocol. No long lists of ceremonies announced weeks in advance. Instead, it was something far more personal. Something human. Something that has now left two nations, Spain and Denmark, buzzing with speculation, emotion, and shock. Because Princess Leonor's arrival was not simply a visit. It was a declaration. A declaration of presence, of choice, and perhaps, of love. Later in this video, you'll see why her arrival could reshape alliances between monarchies. But first, let's go inside the moment Denmark realized she was truly here. 1. The arrival. It was early morning. Copenhagen, wrapped in its usual calm, was just stirring awake. At the airport, whispers started spreading, whispers of a private jet, not marked for a typical state visit. Then, discreet movement, security, quiet motorcades, and a royal figure stepping onto Danish soil. There she was, Princess Leonor of Spain. Spain's heir. A young woman still completing her military training, but already bearing the weight of a crown that will one day be hers. And now, she stood in Denmark, not as a visiting dignitary, but as something far more personal. The first photos leaked online within minutes. A simple coat, understated makeup, no crown, no jewels. Just Leonor, a young princess, looking determined, looking emotional, and looking unshakably certain that her presence there mattered. But why Denmark? Why now? Later in this video, you'll hear about the subtle signals, the ones the royal families tried to hide, that reveal why this arrival changes everything. 2. The royal reaction. When news reached Amalienborg Palace, the heart of the Danish monarchy, reactions were immediate. The queen, dignified as always, maintained protocol. But behind closed doors. This was no ordinary visit. For Denmark's own heir, Crown Prince Frederik's family, and especially Prince Christian, Leonor's presence was a message. To him, to them, to the world. Royal watchers in both countries immediately began to speculate. Was this the moment long hinted at in whispers? The merging of two royal destinies, Spain and Denmark bound not only by history, but by love. And more importantly, if this was personal, was it also political? 3. Family tensions. Back in Spain, King Felipe and Queen Letizia were reportedly taken by surprise. While Leonor had earned trust during her years of disciplined training and public duty, this sudden move, to travel, to arrive unannounced in Denmark, left her parents torn. A father proud, yet cautious. A mother protective, yet aware her daughter was no longer a child. And a nation watching, aware that every step Leonor takes now carries not just emotional weight, but constitutional consequence. Later in this video, you'll hear about the private family conversations insiders believe took place that very night in Zarzuela Palace. 4. Public reaction, Denmark in shock. On Danish streets, the reaction was electric. Crowds gathered outside the palace, phones raised, voices filled with curiosity. Was it true? Was Leonor truly here? Could Spain's future queen really be walking Danish grounds, not as a guest, but perhaps as something closer to family? Tabloids ran headlines immediately. Spain's crown jewel in Copenhagen. Leonor and Christian, a royal destiny. And even, has Denmark just met its future queen-in-law? The people of Denmark were stunned. Shocked. But also enchanted. Because Leonor's arrival wasn't just political theater, it felt human. And that humanity made it powerful. 5. What this means for royalty. If Leonor's visit was private, it changes nothing. But if it was symbolic, if it was meant to signal closeness between two heirs, it could change everything. Two young royals, both heirs to their respective thrones. Both the future faces of modern European monarchy. Both carrying centuries of tradition on their shoulders, and yet daring to rewrite those traditions through their own choices. Spain and Denmark. Two monarchies united, not by treaty or politics, but by the personal decisions of two young heirs. That possibility, that destiny, has historians, royal experts, and political analysts all asking the same question: are we witnessing the beginning of a new royal union? 6. The hidden signals. Royal insiders point to subtle signals that Leonor's arrival was no accident. The discreet car sent to pick her up. The staff at Amalienburg already on standby. The quiet movement of Danish security. This wasn't improvised. This was coordinated. And coordination means one thing: Denmark knew she was coming. So why the shock? Because the world didn't. And that secrecy has fueled the belief that Leonor's visit was not diplomatic at all, but deeply personal. Later in this video, you'll see how one gesture, one simple moment captured on camera, may have revealed more than any official statement ever could. 7. The emotional heart. Here is where the story stops being about palaces, crowns, or traditions. Here is where it becomes about a young woman, barely 19, standing at the center of two worlds. In her eyes, you see it, a determination to follow duty, yes, but also a longing for something more. Love, freedom, the right to choose. And in Denmark, perhaps, she has found both. Imagine the weight she carries: the daughter of a king, the future queen of Spain, the representative of centuries of history. Yet still a young woman, still human, still yearning for the simple and universal truth: to be seen, to be loved, to belong. 8. What happens next? So what does Leonor's arrival mean? For Denmark, it signals the possibility of history in the making, the intertwining of two monarchies, the strengthening of European unity, the birth of a new royal chapter. For Spain, it presents both pride and challenge: pride in a daughter strong enough to stand on her own, challenge in a future queen carving her own path, sometimes beyond the control of tradition. For Leonor herself, it is a choice. A choice to step beyond expectation. A choice to be more than a symbol. A choice to be real. Denmark is in shock. Spain is watching. The world is waiting. Because Princess Leonor's arrival has not only changed Denmark, it may have changed the entire future of European royalty. And the question remains: is this just the beginning?